Hey y'all, welcome back to the ranch. I'm Jared Paul, and it is an absolute beautiful October day here in Northwest Connecticut. So today I'm going to do things a little differently. We're going to get some pine straw, drop from my beautiful white pines, raked up, and I'm going to set that in my outdoor tree gardens for winter to preserve moisture and keep some of the heat retention in there for some of the smaller seedlings. Also, unfortunately, it's time for the stand-up paddle boards to get put up, so I'm going to carry the three of those down into the basement, and I'm going to utilize that space between the garage and the house and deck for wind and weather coverage this winter. So I'm going to drag my apple trees and some of the Yamadori larger trees that I have down around the front. I'm going to drag them into that area, and I'm going to pack those pots with the pine straw as well, as a preparation for the first freeze. So that's all coming up on today's episode of Jarhead Bonsai. Right, so you see this nice pine straw here. Well, in South Carolina, Beaufort, South Carolina is actually where I had my first gym when I got out of the Marine Corps. And they use this stuff a lot, longer needles, but they use this for mulch, where up north we use like ground up cedar and things like that, bark mulch. This is really common down there. So that's what's given me the idea. This is my Fraser fir. I initially got it to be our Christmas tree, and I was going to bring it in and out each year, but the root ball is wrapped in burlap, and it's just so heavy. I can roll it from place to place, but this is its semi-permanent location right now. Love it. I trimmed the apex last year and all the dead stuff out, not much more. And here, this is my blue spruce, and I initially pruned it to be weeping because I just thought that would look cool, and now all the new growth is pointing up, so it just looks gnarly. So we'll have to address that in the early spring. These are some Rosa Sharon, starting to go dormant. They really bloom beautifully. This one is a hybrid, white flower and a purple flower, so it comes out with both, which is pretty rare. So down in here, this is the stuff that I'm talking about. I have little trees popping up all over the place. And I don't want to transplant them when they're so young, like right here specifically. Look at these. This one's getting a nice trunk growing in the ground. So I have some maples and some birches scattered. You see back there, there's another maple baby. Yellowy flower leaf right there. So they're kind of scattered all over the place. So I have bulbs in here, so daffodils and tulips come up, and then I get the tiger lilies as well in the summer. But the addition of these little baby trees will make it cool, and I will, continue to grow them in the ground out here. I've seen it done before with other guys with some success. So yeah, that's a nice controlled environment already built in. All those trees volunteer themselves. So this is what I got to do next. The tomatoes, peppers, and all that, they're still kicking, and the blackberries are in front here in these little pots. So we're leaving them out for now because it's not supposed to drop below like 38 this week. But we are going to get the 3 paddle boards put up and then utilize this space to bring, I'll show you the trees. So around here, I've got a
triple trunk that I Yamadori'd. May or may not make it. That's a hickory. This is 3 to 6 thuja. We're gonna have to get in there because the wooden pot that it's in is absolutely falling apart. And then we've got apples and blueberries, a few more Yamadori. The blueberries I'm gonna leave and I'll just cover them in burlap. I'm gonna move everything else. So this is another Yamadori, hickory, and then I have my 3 weeping Norwegian spruce. So those are all staying out this winter, and I'm gonna pack them with some pine straw. So let's get those paddle boards moved and move on to the next step.
Y'all, so before we get up out of here and we conclude another episode of Jarhead Bonsai, I had put in my last video that I had this crazy pencil cactus. This is the mother plant that's created so many babies from cuttings, and I just let it grow wild and have it fully cascade going towards the window. So in a previous video I had cut out this really strong vertical growth going towards the ceiling fan because I didn't want that vertical growth. I wanted the cascading. So in the last video, I said, hey, 1, about to hit the fan, 2, and 3 have grown in place of that one that I pruned off. So I said, hey, what the heck? Why don't I say the first 3 bonsai guys or gals who comment that they would like a piece and send me their address, I'll mail them out and see if they can't get them to root and enjoy a pencil cactus wherever they are. So I got my responses. So this first cutting is from my bonsai buddy Mark in Denver, Colorado, United States. Boom. My second cutting is for my bonsai buddy Trevor Leonard in Alberta, Canada. They're already under snow there, so let's give them a little taste of the desert. And my third is going the farthest to my friend and new to YouTube, Scott Winard of Let's Do Bonsai. He's out in the UK and he requested one as well. So, looks good, guys. We got 3 pencil cactus cuttings. They're already starting to branch. So I will set these in some wet paper towel, wrap them up in newspaper, and get them to the addresses that y'all provided. Actually, Scott, I think you're the only one I'm waiting on your address. So you can email me or send me a message to Instagram, and I'll get those out. It's looking like Wednesday or Thursday morning. All right, y'all, so that's going to do it for another episode of Jarhead Bonsai. I hope you enjoyed yourself. Coming up soon, I have 3 cherimoya trees that have grown from seed. I ordered them from Portugal, and this one received its first pruning a couple of weeks ago. It's really grown in nicely, and then I have 2 more that I'm letting grow as full size. So if you haven't heard of the cherimoya, that's coming up on the next episode of Jarhead Bonsai. I'm Jared Paul. Thanks again for joining me at the ranch. Take care, y'all.